everyone. I'm Dimitris. I'm working for Revolut for the last 8 months. The fun fact is, like, I joined actually. I relocated due to this opportunity. So I have like 4 months living in London and 4 months during this lockdown and this COVID crisis. So it wasn't the plan that I had in my mind when I had received the offer and decided to join London, but it's okay. Yeah, I'm working in Revolut. I'm owning the SEO channel and the ASO, which is the App Store optimization. It's very close to the search engine optimization, but it's a process that is being done in the app stores on Google Play and the Apple Store. And today, after the opportunity that Sevda gave me, I had prepared a presentation about like what actually works on SEO for in 2020, and how you can see your website and your pages on the first page, which is the big bet. It's it is a joke inside this SEO community that if you want to bury something, just keep it on the second page of Google. So yeah, if you're not on the first page, probably you won't get any clicks. So yeah, let's start. The context of the presentation is like what works on around SEO today, but I'll try to break this down in, let's say, 6 different subcategories. First, we will cover very shortly what is SEO for people that they don't know, and as a second step, how it works. The real deal will be on the third part. Is like the 6 big trends and tactics that I strongly suggest to follow in order to succeed on SEO. I have also included 2 case studies from companies that I have worked or still working that showcase some very good results, and I've actually implemented the strategies and tactics that I'm sharing with you today. The fifth element is the KPIs. So we need, as SEO professionals, or even if we're not SEO professionals, but we are doing SEO, we need to measure the success of our work, and we need to move away from just okay, I'm ranking in these keywords, or like I'm getting this organic traffic. We need to focus more on specific metrics that are important for our business and our industry needs. And the last part is just a slide of useful resources that I really think can be helpful for anyone in order to learn SEO, but at the same time keep updated for everything that is going on, since SEO is a constant change due to Google's algorithm. So let's start on like what is SEO. SEO stands for, it's the acronym of search engine optimization, and actually it's the practice of increasing the quantity and the quality of traffic you're getting on your website through the organic search results. There are a lot of search engines. However, we are focusing on Google as Google has a 92% of the global share of searches. So if you conquer Google, then you're probably uh, you're okay. You don't need to do anything else. Uh, so the three elements are like the quality of traffic. You want to attract visitors that are interested in your products. You want quantity, of course. Once you have quality of traffic, you want the more traffic you get, the better. And of course, we're talking about organic results, which are the results that you don't have to pay for, since we have also the paid results where you pay Google in order to show your product or your pages or your brand, whatever you want. And when we're talking about quality, it's important to attract visitors that are close to your target personas. It's your audience, and you're not gaining traffic from irrelevant sources of audience that actually don't bring any value to your business. You don't need it. And as I mentioned before, once you achieve this, which is the big bet, then you need to increase the quantity as well. And yeah, like popular websites are doing SEO, so you need to be on the spotlight and make your website popular and profitable at the same time. And let's start with the basics, like how SEO works. So it's pretty simple, actually. A lot of people are trying to make things so complex, but it's pretty simple. Like search engines want to show the best and most relevant results to all the searchers, and your job is to make your website and your content be among these top results. It's simple in terms of explanation. It's pretty complex in terms of implementation and actually succeed on this. I try to break down this process. It's of course it's more complex than this, but a basic approach for every website owner, for every SEO professional or marketing manager, or anyone who wants to start doing SEO. It's like this. Okay, first you have to do your keyword and market research and decide, see the searches, understand better the audience and what is the searcher's intent. And once you do this, you have to identify and agree with your team or your CEO, or I don't know, whoever is also responsible, the topics that you want to cover and target, and the keywords, of course. The next step is, once you have the keywords and the topics, you have to build a content plan in order to get traffic, right? And of course, then you start writing. The last part, which is it's also important, and it's also complex, and some people don't pay a lot of attention on this, is like build a plan for the offsite SEO, which is the link building. So you build a plan to acquire backlinks. Backlinks are among the top ranking factors, while at the same time you also need to build a good internal linking plan. So you need to make your website and your pages increase their indexability and crawlability, because the Googlebot won't crawl the whole website at once. it will probably crawl part of the website. So it's your job to link through a page to all the relevant pages that you also have. So this could make Googlebot's life easier, and of course, you will gain from that as well. So let's go on the let's say the most important part of this presentation, which is what really works on 2020, right? You may hear so many different stuff. Probably half of them are good, and relevant, and you should be doing them, and half of them are irrelevant or like outdated. So I'll try to focus on things that I really do every day almost, and I have seen that they work pretty well. So let's start. It's yeah, these are, let's say, the 6 big things you need to follow, know, respect, and whatever else you want to add. Topic clusters. So you need to create content categories, feature snippets. You probably have seen this premium free spot on Google. Structured data. It's the way to make your content shine on the search. Page speed. Everyone has a mobile. Google has introduced mobile first indexing to the whole web. So you need to have a super fast website in order to rank pretty high. Another new thing that we actually, SEO professionals always had it in their minds. However, this is now official, as considered as a ranking factor. It's the page experience. Google recently introduced the core Web Vitals, which is a new ranking factor, and in general, it's covering the page experience and the user experience you provide, which needs to follow some rules in order to make your content rank high. And the last, let's say, tactic, the last strategy that people are, I don't know, I have seen that have been afraid of it, or like they haven't invested a lot of time there, is the internationalization. Translate your content. A lot of people do SEO for a given language, although the product or the command they work for is serving more than one region or more than one country. So they're losing a big potential audience and traffic. So let's start covering each one of these 6 tactics in a more detail.
Yeah, I took a screenshot of this. Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, sure. Can I continue? Okay, probably I will.
Yeah, you can continue.
Yes, please.
Cool. So topic clusters. What are actually topic cluster is like a group of interlinked web pages that are covering a topic. So you break down a topic. You take a big topic, and you start breaking down on smaller parts. So you have a pillar page. The pillar page is the main page, the page that talks for this broad topic. and you have the cluster pages that are around this pillar page, and they're covering relevant keywords and subtopics of this topic. This is very important. It's a technique that HubSpot introduced some years ago. I have been using it a lot, and it works like a charm for big and competitive terms, right? And when I say big and competitive terms, I'm referring to queries that are short tail, so they are either 1 or 2 words. Usually these types of terms are like high. They have high monthly searches, and at the same time very high keyword difficulty. So it's a really good way to target these difficult queries is to get the topic and try to break it down, right? So we start like with the word workouts, for example, and then you start breaking down and finding all the relevant long tail queries. And when we say long tail, we're talking about queries that have 3 or more words that are covering this topic, but they are subtopics like home workouts, gym workouts, abs workouts, etc. This is just an example. You can figure out and create your own topic clusters. And the tactic is pretty simple. So you have your pillar page, you're covering this topic in a more broad way. And at the same time, you're linking to all these cluster pages that you have created. And each cluster page should also link to the pillar page, right? This is the technique. This is a way to increase your chances of actually covering the search visibility for the whole topic, because you have like a presence and let's say cover of the most broad term, but at the same time you're covering all the sub terms, let's say, which is super important, and it really works. It really works. I'm continuing, and at the end we will have time for questions, so feel free to ping me. Feature snippets. So this is also something that you probably have seen, and it's also something new. It was introduced like during the last 3 years from Google, and since then it's continuously evolving. Until recently, and by recently I mean like until 6 or 8 months ago, the feature snippet was also among the top results. So if you had a feature snippet, then you also had a top result on the same page was also ranking among the first page results. But during this change, Google has removed, let's say, the second spot. So once you have a feature snippet, you're not having also a second place inside the first page. Feature snippets is a more premium spot. It's before the first result, so a lot of before the first result and immediately after the paid, if there's any paid result. It's considered the SEO community as the zero result, right? And it's super important because you can see that Google is is offering a premium spot to you. So more exposure, you're probably getting more views, while at the same time, of course, statistics say that the feature snippet is stealing clicks for the first result. So if you are the feature snippet, then you are stealing clicks from the first result, which is awesome. Most of the times, feature snippet include, sorry. Okay. Most of the times, feature snippets include definitions, tables, steps, lists, this kind of stuff. Some things to know about feature snippets. They have an average CTR of 9%, and as I said before, they're stealing clicks from the first organic result. You have to be on the top 10 Google's results, so you have to be ranked as a first page result. The majority is triggered by long tail keywords. Again, long tail keywords are keywords that have 3 or more words. And some other trigger points are the questions, the lists, queries that include best, versus, definition, and some other niches like health, mathematical formulas, status, and some other stuff. And how you could get a feature snippet. So you cannot ask Google to mark your page as a feature snippet. This is something that Google does programmatically. So you can say by default, oh, this will be a feature snippet. However, there are some techniques in order to increase your chance to get a feature snippet with your page. So first of all, you need to structure your post with headings, make it easy reading, provide a very good page experience, user experience, avoid having very large paragraphs. A max of 42 words, according to SEMrush, is ideal. You should use lists, either numbers or bullets, whenever you can. They trigger feature snippets a lot. You should always use rich media and images. And I have also included some more detailed stats. Again, this is from SEMrush, a study that SEMrush did, analyzing some millions of feature snippets. So for questions, the best practice is to try to answer this question in one paragraph. For lists, the best practice is to have like an average of 5 to 6 items. For a table, the best practice is to have a maximum of 5 to 6 rows. And the landscape centered style is best for images. Also, another thing that you should know is like feature snippets appear and disappear. Like, and what I mean by this, like if a query has a feature snippet in July, doesn't mean that it will have it on August or on September. It probably could have it, but sometimes it not. Or if a query doesn't have a feature snippet on July, it may have it on August or September. So don't forget to optimize your your pages, your text for feature snippets, no matter if the search results have or not have right now a feature snippet on the top. So let's move on the structured data. You probably have searched a recipe in the website on Google, and you have seen this snippet. You can check that it has rating, it has the calories of the food, it has the thumbnail, the total cooking time. So this is called rich results, and it uses structured data in order to give Google more context of your content, while at the same time provide a better user experience, right? So when I search something and there is rich results on the search results, then I have a great experience because I see thumbnails, I see ratings, I see calories and all this stuff. This is just an example. And this is just an example. You get structured data for different types of content. It's a knowledge graph, probably you have seen it. It's AMP, the accelerated mobile pages, Google News, and when we talk about SEO and how it benefits SEO, it provides better user experience and better search experience. So we're going to where Google wants. Google, and actually all the search engines want to have to provide the best experience to their searchers. So if you provide a better result, then it's super for them. At the same time, the Google bot understands better the context of your text. So if it understands it better, then it increases the chances of ranking it high. And yeah, some things to clarify. It's, the structured data is not a ranking factor, right? It's it just provide better searchers experience, and also helps Google understand better the context of your text or your content. Generally, the structured data is something that the search engines, all the search engines, use and increase the usage a lot. So they want more and more, and they say that, you know, it would be a very important part of the future of search. So you need to be part of this. The language of structured data is the schema.org, and the JSON is the most common way to implement structured data on your posts. I have a link. I don't want to spend so much time on structured data because it could get more complex, and I have the link. It's pretty easy to click on the link and understand better how it works and what types of structured data we have. So yeah, you can just visit the link. The page speed. So the page speed is like crucial. As I told you at the beginning of the presentation, we are moving to, Google has announced mobile first indexing for the whole web this year. Everyone has and using a mobile, and most of the searches right now are being done through mobile. So if you don't have a very fast website that loads pretty fast on mobile devices, then you have a problem, because sometimes, actually most of the times, people are not using a Wi-Fi network. They're using their data. So if you don't have a fast website, then they will just leave, go back, and visit the next result, which is crucial for Google if the bounce rate is pretty big. I have links for the announcement of the mobile first indexing for the whole web. You can read. And also Google is offering a free page speed test where you're testing the two versions of your website. They test first, of course, the mobile version, and they give you a score. They also test and provide a score for the desktop version. Ideally, you should be fast for both of these two versions, right? Let's move on the page experience, which is actually, it makes total sense. You need to provide a web page that is attracting the visitors. It's understandable. It's easy to convert. But until recently, it wasn't officially considered as a ranking factor. However, now Google announced that these core web vitals are considered ranking factors. And we have these three different aspects, which is the loading of the page, how it interacts with the visitor, and how stable it is in terms of the visual elements. Of course, I'm providing you a link. I cannot cover this topic again, with so many details. It will get very complex. However, as I mentioned before, Google is offering all these tools for free. So they have a test website where you can test and measure these three different metrics for your website. So they give you a score, and based on the score, they provide you with recommendations on what you need to fix in order to have a good score that could help your website rank higher. And the last tactic is international SEO. I think in general that, as I said before, there are so many people that don't invest time on translating their content, even if they provide their products, or they have a brand that attracts and targets audiences of more than one region or country. And actually, I think this is a big mistake. They're actually missing a lot of potential, right? And let's see why internationalization and international SEO is important, right? So let's start with the competition. Usually the competition is lower, and when I say it's lower, it's compared to the English-speaking countries. From my experience, and you can also check on all the SEO tools that are available out there, that the same term that, like, for example, what is a prepaid card, could have a keyword difficulty of, let's say, 40. It's just random numbers. Don't judge me. On Google UK or on Google US. However, the same query could have like a keyword difficulty of 9 or 8 on Google France or Google Deutschland. So it's amazing opportunity, and you should start thinking of taking advantage of it. Of course, if you cover these areas, or you offer your product or your brand in more than one languages, right? If you don't offer, then you can focus on other strategies. The second thing is like you get more traffic. So we all think that Google US or Google UK are super big audiences, which are okay, but it's Brazil, super big. It's India. So the more you optimize and you translate your content, the better. You are missing, trust me, you are missing a very big, very large audience if you have international brand or product and you are not translating it. At the same time, you provide better, you have a better conversion rate. Imagine being like I'm Greek, right? I'm searching for something and I'm searching a Nike shoe, and I'm landing on the English version of the web page, and I start reading the description and why I should buy this shoe, and then I search another shoe of Adidas, and I'm landing on the Greek version, and I'm reading the whole description and all the USPs in Greek. Probably the conversion rate of the Greek version would be better because it is close to my native language. And of course, this includes a trap, and the trap is you need to make sure that you run through QA your translations, because I have experience on really bad translations. Of course, we're not talking about Google Translate. This is not acceptable. But even a translator sometimes cannot understand your brand or cannot understand some terms that define your niche. So you need to make sure that you pass through QA the whole translation and making sure that the outcome is really good with high quality. And this is why I'm mentioning the different audience. Like each language and audience needs a different approach. A word that is used in the UK is not used in the US, and they both talk English. So imagine how many differences we could find between like English with Brazil or Brazilian or Spanish or like Spanish and Portuguese, and you get my point. So you need to do it correctly, and if you do it correctly, trust me, you will have super great results. Yeah, let's move on the case studies. I have included two different examples. The one example is mentioning a blog post, a whole blog of a company where there was no SEO before, and by the time I've started working with a clear SEO and content strategy, we've seen a very big and promising spike month over month, and we're only in the beginning. While the second example is focused on a new category from scratch. So we launched on this company a category, a blog category from scratch, And so we had zero traffic, zero organic traffic. We also had zero marketing budget for this. So we no social, no paid social, nothing, no email, nothing. So we had to ensure that all the posts were super optimized and following the best SEO principles in order to get the desired traffic, right? So let's see the results. So here is like for the UK audience, and we can see that until the January of this year, the organic traffic was pretty low, and the ratio between branded and non-branded traffic was like 2-1. So we had more branded traffic than non-branded traffic, which is good, that because it's an indication that people are searching about your brand, but at the same time you are not doing anything around the SEO, because unless you are Apple, okay, or Samsung. And here are the results. So we started working with a clear SEO and content strategy around March 2020, and we see, and you can see like a very promising and good increase month over month. Also, you can see that I'm focusing only on top 3 and top 4 to 10. So the keywords that are on the first page. I'm not using other keywords, which will also look very promising. And some quick numbers: we had 5 times more the traffic cost, 10 times more the non-branded traffic compared to January. And another important part is, like, although the branded traffic has increased, the non-branded traffic increased that much that overpassed brand traffic, and now the ratio is completely the opposite, and we have it's 1 to 2 branded to non-branded traffic. So the second example is here. As I told you before, the challenge is, like, we launched a new category from scratch. There was no traffic at July 2019, where we launched this category. We were targeting mostly the US market, which is very competitive. And you can check here that how we grew this, and we moved from 0.0 organic traffic to almost 40,000 visits per month, plus how big the traffic cost. And the traffic cost is the indication of, like, if we had to pay for all these keywords, we should pay a monthly. We should have a monthly budget of around 200K, right? And you can see that all of it is non-branded traffic, which is great. This was our target, and I've included here also the 11 to 12 to 20 positions, because you can see also that there's a good trend. So ideally we will have it, we will have the same thing and bigger spike on the next months. So I talked about keywords and traffic costs and all this stuff. We covered the important strategies that work on 2020. But actually, let's assume that you have followed all these things. Your website, your domain, your blog, or your product pages, whatever you have optimized, rock. You conquered the search results. Now you need to measure the success, and most important, you need to create a presentation to the more senior guys in your company in order to showcase your work. So what KPIs you should use? So I try to separate these KPIs into different categories. And the one would be the starting KPIs. And when I say starting KPIs, I mean, everyone knows that SEO takes time. So you cannot expect that by the very, from day one, you will see traffic. Or like probably if you start, if we even go back to the second example, you will see that we're starting seeing some traffic after 2 or 3 months, and imagine that a lot of people work for a site that has a low domain authority, so it's very difficult from the beginning to rank pretty high. So I separate these these KPIs thing into different categories. The starting KPI, so what you need to measure are the, let's say, first 3-4 months of your work. And once you have the traffic and your results, what are the let's say most important KPIs? So first, let's start with the basic and starting KPIs. It's the keywords. I'm focusing only on the number of non-branded keywords that are either on the top 3 positions or the top 10 positions. I know that it's super difficult to see to see big movements there. I know, I have faced it. I mean, in a very short period of time. However, these are the keywords that will produce traffic to your site or your pages. It's good. The traffic, the increase, the spike on the number of keywords that are among like 11 to 20 or like 21 to 50 positions. It's good because it's probably an indication that Google is start indexing your posts. It starts ranking them. However, if you want to see your actual success, you need to focus on the first page, and the first page has only the top 3 and the top 4 to 10 positions. So I'm using the SEMrush to separate this. Another important part is the site health score. Again, health score is a metric that SEMrush has in their site audit report. It's important for the technical side of SEO. Probably this KPI is not a crucial KPI for a non-SEO professional, but for an SEO professional is super critical. And this is why, even if you do a solid SEO strategy, if you do a super content strategy, if you have like the best team of writers writing a lot of content, you need to make sure that your site is indexable and it has a very good indexability and crawlability. So it has a good indexability, which means that your content is discoverable, and people that search for some questions, they will find the answers on your pages. So if you have problems that hurt these things, then no matter what you are doing in terms of creating content or optimizing content, you won't see the results, or you won't see the proper results. So you need to make sure that you have a healthy website in terms of technical SEO. And of course, based on the keywords, we have the traffic. So organic traffic and how it grows month over month for the given website category or set of pages. And let's move to the real deal, which are the most important KPIs for me. It's the conversions, leads, conversions, whatever you have as a target, because as I'm saying to this slide, no matter how much traffic you acquire, you need conversions. So if you don't have conversions, then you either not targeting the correct audience. So you need to revisit the whole strategy. You need to go to the very first step and revisit everything, or you provide a very bad user experience. So you need to perform conversion rate optimization and probably A/B test your call to actions or your storytelling, your USPs, whatever you offer in order to persuade the visitor to, I don't know, buy your product, sign up to your newsletter, download your app, or whatever you offer. And the last step is the payback. And when I say payback, is like actually how much do you bring, how much value do you bring to the business, and how much you cost, right? Because SEO is definitely a channel that is not compared to the paid ones. It has most of the times a very lower budget and spend. However, it has spend. There is a cost. The tools that you are using, your salary. If you work with a content agency or with a freelancer, then you need to pay them to write content. So you need to get these costs and compare them with the revenue you create through these efforts, and hopefully the outcome would be positive. Of course, probably it won't be at the beginning because again, SEO takes time, and if this is, let's say, the last step of the funnel, but in a period of like 1 year or like 2 years, you should have brought traffic, conversions, and revenue. If you don't, then you're probably doing something wrong. Sorry. Three more KPIs that you should consider is like the potential. And when I say potential, I mean the traffic potential. So when you present and you want to justify your work or to justify your requests in terms of like investment, like you go to your manager or like to the head of your department and you're requesting extra budget for tools, or like you're requesting a freelancer to write posts, then you need to come up with a plan to justify this. And since you don't have data, since you are now starting doing SEO, then it's very difficult to provide real numbers. So creating a predicted analysis on like, it's pretty simple actually. You just gather the target keywords you have identified. You're picking the top result for each keyword. You're getting the traffic, the traffic estimation that this article gets, this page gets. It's pretty easy for with either SEMrush or Ahrefs. And then you summarize all this, and you say that, okay, this is the total, the maximum traffic we could get. Of course, we probably won't get this traffic, but let's say the 5%, the 10%, the 20, or the 30, the 50% of this traffic translates to these visits per month, which are kind of free. So yeah, I mean, this is really good when you build a plan and you are requesting additional resources. The assisted conversions report, it's important. Like, of course, if you're using MTA, which is multi-touch attribution, it could be helpful to showcase that, okay, probably SEO is not the best channel. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, but through either Google Analytics or other tracking and reporting tools like Adobe or Split Metrics, you could Supermetrics, sorry, you could see that what is the contribution of the SEO channel, the organic channel, to the conversions, which is important because if someone is converting from a paid ad, however, he has visited the website through organic search or a web page twice before, then you're not the final touch point. However, you helped a lot on the consideration stage, which is also important, right? And the LTV, the lifetime value, it's something that you could you need also data from at least 1 or 2 years, but it's good to have it. It's like the customer lifetime value from the SEO channel. It's good to have it because you will know how much actually each customer brings to your company through the organic channel, which is, for me, it's good to know, and you should have it as a number. So let's move on the last part. I talked too much, I think. It's the resources. So for me, it's important to stay updated on about SEO. SEO is continuously changing. You need to follow all the new the new strategies. You need to make sure that you're aware of any important algorithm changes, any important announcements from Google, like the Core Web Vitals. It's something really important. So yeah, for me, the go-to official channels is the Webmasters blog. It's the official blog of Google around the Webmaster and SEO. So just sign up to their newsletter and you will get all the new blog posts. Plus their Twitter account. They have recently started actually announcing all the algorithm changes through Twitter, which is great. So you don't need to check the SEO tools or like any ups and downs through your Google Analytics or other reporting tools in order to make assumptions that probably there was an algorithm update. You just have to follow the Twitter account of the Webmasters, and they will inform you when they release a broad algorithm update. In terms of the top blogs to stay updated with all the latest information, trends, or whatever strategies and tactics, everything that has to do with SEO is the Search Engine Journal, the Search Engine Land, and the Search Engine Roundtable. I find these 3 websites really helpful in my day-to-day. They have all of them. They have a very active newsletter. So you just have to sign up, and you will receive on your inbox very, very useful resources every day. And if you want to learn SEO, Ahrefs, they have a really awesome blog where they post pretty often and pretty good content, that explanatory content that educates around SEO. Moz Academy, which is really good, and then Semrush, and I also like the Backlingo, which is the personal blog of Brian Dean, which is like an SEO guru, and it covers in depth some very important topics. So yeah, I mean, I have links for all of them. I think if you follow all these and you sign up their newsletter, then you're not going to miss anything that has to do with SEO. So yeah, that was my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.